Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So before we get into today's subject matter, I want to let you all know real quick that the Woke Dingbats t-shirts are now $40. So why in the world are you waiting? Yes, I ship internationally, and yes, these are awesome shirts. So you can go to the link in the show description right now to order your very, very own. And I hope that many of you do, because these shirts are awesome. And I want to start like an actual revolution of people wearing the Woke Dingbats t-shirts. It's going to make people laugh. And well, we want to end wokeness, don't we? So anyone that is part of wokeness is what we call a woke what? A woke dingbat. All right, let's make it catch on. So link is available in the show description, my friends. Okay, today we're going to be talking about, this one's an actual doozy, my friends. Believe you me. The Iranian activist who is sentenced to 178 lashes and 18 months in prison after she was arrested for not wearing a hijab. So we know that Iran is an Islamist country. It is ruled by a dictator, and it funds a lot of T-word organizations all around the world. Iran is kind of like Big Daddy, as it were. And we know that the US has given billions of dollars to Iran under Joe Biden. And well, what have they done with that? They've given a lot of that money out to the T-word organization proxies for more wars to begin. So Iran is a danger, Iran is a threat, and so is Pakistan, but that's another video for another time. But nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, the way women are treated in this Islamist country is truly horrendous. If you are not wearing a hijab, which according to the Quran, Iran wants to follow the Quran to the actual T and make it like evidently clear that if a woman doesn't wear a hijab, she doesn't cover her face, she doesn't do what the Muslim men tell her to do, then she is going to be punished rather severely. And guess what? You're not allowed to question. You're not allowed to talk badly or negatively about the religion of Islam, especially if you are in Iran. If you are in Iran and you talk negatively, they call you I forgot what the actual word is, but you're an apostate. You're not like agreeing with what the Prophet Muhammad said in the Quran. And I mean, Iran, if you go against that, then my goodness me, you're going to be killed. That is just evidently clear in their religion, that you will be stoned to death or you'll be beheaded or whatever they deem necessary to end your life, because it is not important. If you have questions, wow, no way. So that's a prime example of how and why Iran is an actual death cult. This story is not getting that much attention, by the way. So that's why I'm making this video, to show everybody that this stuff is going on in the world. You guys may not be privy to it, but it's actually happening. So this Iranian activist gets 178 lashes and 18 months in prison after she was arrested for not wearing a hijab. Now, where are the women's rights activists all around the world protesting and jumping up and down and making noise about this? Because women in Iran, in Pakistan, and several other countries, like I think it's Afghanistan too, where it's predominantly Islam-led and based, the restrictions that women have to go through are nuts, man. Women are nothing more. In fact, I think dogs are treated a lot better than women over there. But hey, Fatima Payman, funded by Iran, believe it or not, says that Iran is a good place for women. Yeah. Fatima Payman, by the way, is one of our stinking senators. I can't believe that she is one, but she is, and she's defending Islam. Oh, gee, I wonder why that is. Oh, Islam is a religion of peace. Look at us. You don't have to look too far to see what's happening in Iran to know that it's not a peaceful religion. I've said it many times, but it's a death cult. An Iranian activist has been sentenced to 178 lashes and 18 months in prison after being arrested for not wearing a hijab. Hamideh Zari, a Gilak activist and former political prisoner, was released earlier this month from Rasht Central Prison after spending nearly a month behind bars, only to face a brutal new sentence. Her latest sentence includes 9 months of imprisonment and 74 lashes for disrupting public order, 9 months for resisting law enforcement officers, 74 lashes for insulting an officer on duty, and 30 lashes for causing non-visible injuries. The Tehran University master's student ordeal began on February 3rd when she appeared at the Public and Revolutionary Prosecutor's Office in Rasht as part of a forced residency sentence. She was detained for not wearing a mandatory hijab. Get that, mandatory. You're not allowed to question any of these things in the religion of Islam, believe it or not. You just to go along with everything that they tell you to go along with. And if that is, you must wear a hijab, it is compulsory to wear a hijab. If you don't do that, man, you're gone. You're in a lot of trouble. It's mandatory to wear a hijab, which led to her receiving new charges. Zari spent 29 days in detention at Rasht Central Prison before being released on bail on March 3rd, according to a report from the Hangor Organization for Human Rights. Well, women there don't have any rights at all. So Fatima Payman, maybe you should read this story. Maybe it may do you some good. During her time in custody, the actress was reportedly physically assaulted by two officers. Well, we saw that coming, didn't we? From the Rasht Prosecutor's Office Protection Unit, which resulted in wrist injuries and severe bruising. What's the bet that they did more that we just don't know about? But this is just the latest chapter in the regime's relentless targeting of Zari. In June last year, she was arrested after being summoned to Rasht Court and sent to Lakan Prison, only to be released on June 10th after securing a judicial bond. But her troubles with Iranian authorities date back to 2022. In November 2023, a Karaj Revolutionary Court under Judge Musa, can't read that, Safol Hosseini, sentenced her to 1 year in prison for propaganda against the Islamic Republic of Iran. The Islamic Republic of Iran. That should tell you everything you need to know. But anyway, after accepting the verdict, the sentence was reduced to 9 months. Zari was first detained in Karaj on May 29, 2023, and imprisoned in Kochoy prison until her release on February 22, 2024, after serving her sentence. However, she was also banned from traveling for 2 years, prohibited from social media activity for 2 years, and forced into exile in Rasht. Her first known arrest took place on November 3rd, 2022, when she was detained for attending a memorial marking the 40th day since the killing of Hadis Najfi, a young woman shot dead by security forces during the 2022 protests. She was imprisoned in Kachoy prison before being released on February 7th under the so-called pardon directive. Yeah, right. Hamdith Zari's case is yet another chilling example of Iran's brutal suppression of women's rights activists. With her new harsh prison sentence and the barbaric punishment of 178 lashes, the Iranian regime continues to mercilessly crack down on those who dare to defy its oppressive laws. It comes after an Iranian student was arrested and taken to a mental hospital by morality police. Wow, morality police. And you're saying that Iran is a moral place, are you? Jeez. After she stripped down to her underwear and walked around Tehran's Islamic Azad University in November last year. Footage of the brave moment saw the student sitting and pacing back and forth with her arms crossed in front of stunned onlookers at the university's science and research campus before she was detained by security forces and forcibly put in a car. Well, that's her done. Following her arrest, there were widespread calls from human rights activists on social media for her immediate release after she reportedly sustained severe injuries during her violent arrest. Yeah, well, she's nothing but a piece of meat, according to these Islamists. A growing number of women have defied authorities by discarding their veils after nationwide protests that followed the death of September 2022 of a woman, Iranian Kurdish woman, in the custody of the morality police for allegedly violating hijab rules. Her name was, we all know, Masha Amini, 22, died after being arrested by morality police for not wearing a hijab correctly. Her deaths spearheaded mass women life freedom protests, which continued for months in the country. A year later, in October 2023, an Iranian teenager named Amita Javand was injured in an alleged encounter with police on Tehran's metro while not wearing a head covering. She later died in hospital. What does that tell you? Like, Iran is not a place that's free for women. And if anyone says otherwise, refer them to these stories. The only way women are going to be like free is if they all rise up and if the Islamic Republic is done away with. It's the only way women are going to ever be free. Is it any wonder why the women want to flee Iran, but they can't? Islamic Republic, huh? This is Islam for you. Taking it to literally what the Quran says. How women are supposed to behave and act. Absolutely unreal. And this continues to go on and on and on. And what do the Western women's rights activists do? Silent. But yet these women are bravely speaking up and facing rather severe consequences for freedom because they know that none of this is right. None of it is. Anyway, we'll continue to speak up and pray for women like this, eh? Anyway, that's enough from me, but you guys take care, be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.